Every personal injury case is unique, but like most of my clients, you're probably wondering, how long is it going to take to settle my case? And in this video, I'll walk you through the 5 key factors that impact injury case timeline and what you can expect throughout the process, and how to keep things moving in the right direction. Hey, I'm Brian Glass, and I became a personal injury lawyer 17 years ago. Now today, after having secured one of the largest DUI verdicts in the history of Virginia, I can personally tell you that most people undervalue their case. And that's what the insurance company counts on. If you or somebody you know has been injured or disabled and want to speak with a lawyer they can trust, give us a call at Ben Glass Law and schedule your free consultation. Now let's dive in. Factor number 1, the type of injury sustained. Now one of the biggest factors in how long your personal injury case will take is the type of injury that you sustained. The recovery period for your injuries plays a huge role in determining when your case is ready to settle. For example, if you've suffered only soft tissue injuries like strains or sprains or bruises, those injuries typically heal pretty quickly, usually in 6 months or less, depending on the severity. But there's a catch. Maybe about 20% of people with soft tissue injuries continue to experience symptoms well after a year, and in about half of those cases, the symptoms can interfere significantly with your daily activities. A key timeline here is when your doctor declares that you've reached maximum medical improvement, or what lawyers call MMI. MMI means that your injuries are as healed as they're going to be, and getting further treatment isn't going to improve your condition. So once you're at MMI, or you're released from care, your case can proceed to the next stage, which is preparing the settlement discussions or getting ready for trial. Now, it's important to note that you have to wait until your injuries have fully matured before settling, because taking a settlement too early on may leave you with compensation that doesn't fully cover all your medical expenses or all your future care. Factor number 2, pinpointing the medical condition. Another factor that influences the timeline of how long it takes to get a case settled is how quickly your doctors can pinpoint exactly what's wrong with you and whether that condition resulted from the accident. Sometimes injuries caused by a traumatic event don't immediately appear. It can take time, and even after several tests, the doctors still aren't able to correctly diagnose the injury. If your injury is difficult to diagnose, it may slow down your claim because insurance companies won't offer a settlement and your lawyer won't ask for a settlement without knowing exactly what happened to you. The longer it takes for a diagnosis, the longer the overall process can drag out. So it's essential to get a clear diagnosis as soon as possible to ensure that your claim is based on accurate information. And in some cases, it might take multiple doctor's visits, tests, and MRIs to find out the full extent of your injuries. Until that happens, your case is probably going to be on hold. Factor number 3, the documentation of losses. So in personal injury cases, documenting the full extent of your losses is crucial. If your injuries are going to result in significant settlement, you need to have strong evidence of the damages that you suffered. Some of the primary losses that need to be documented include medical expenses. Medical expenses are often the largest part of your claim, and you'll need to gather all your medical bills and records from each doctor that you've been to, hospital that you've seen, and all your prescription costs that are associated with the crash. Lost wages. If you missed work due to the accident, you'll need to show some proof that you missed income. A letter from your employer detailing the missed days and your usual rate of pay is typically good enough for us to be able to calculate the compensation that you're owed for lost wages. Emotional damages. In many personal injury cases, you can also recover damages for the emotional part of the impact, anxiety, depression, or PTSD. And documenting these emotional losses through therapy or counseling sessions will help strengthen your claim. Collecting all the documentation can take time, however. For example, if you've been treated by multiple doctors or specialists, obtaining all the necessary records and bills can be a very lengthy process. Additionally, if you missed work, you may need to work with your employer to get proper documentation to prove up your lost income. Once all the damages are properly documented and organized, that marks the end of the second stage of your case, and your lawyer can then begin negotiating with the insurance company towards a settlement. Factor 4, insurance makes a difference. And not all insurance companies are the same. Some are much easier to negotiate with than others. Insurance companies involved in your case plays a significant role in how long the process will take. Some companies are known for making pretty reasonable offers early on, and others use delay tactics all day long to wear you down and pressure you into accepting a lower settlement. The key point to remember is that insurance companies are in the business to make money. They don't want to pay you more than they have to, and they'll often ask for more documentation or even deny or delay claims outright. The more difficult the insurance company, the longer it's going to take to resolve your case. And if the insurer refuses to offer a reasonable settlement or they're dragging their feet in negotiations, your lawyer may need to file a lawsuit and take your case to court. And this can add significant time to the process, but it's worth it. Factor 5, issues regarding the case. Sometimes issues regarding the case can cause delays in settlement. Common problems that arise are liability issues, whether it's unclear whose fault it is, and that can delay the process. For example, if there are no witnesses and you have conflicting statements, it's going to take longer to establish liability, and you might need to go through court to do that. Your attorney will need to gather additional information like police reports, photographs, witness statements if there are any, connecting serious injuries back to the crash. If you didn't immediately seek medical attention, or if you didn't report all your injuries, insurance companies may want to argue that your injuries weren't caused by the accident. Ensuring that you document all your injuries from the start is critical to avoiding delays in the case. Complicated documentation. Sometimes it can be difficult to document losses, especially if you have a job with fluctuating income or if the medical professional moves away or retires. And getting necessary documentation can delay the settlement process, and you may need your attorney to help track down missing records or gather evidence from multiple sources. There are many factors that determine how long it takes a personal injury case to settle. While some cases may settle in just a few months, others may take much longer, especially if your injuries are complex or if there are delays in documentation or negotiations. To make sure your case proceeds as smoothly as it can, work closely with an experienced personal injury lawyer. They'll handle all the details of the claim, help collect the necessary documentation, and deal with the insurance company on your behalf. And by doing so, you have a much better chance at getting a fair settlement. So if your loved one has been hurt here in Virginia and you're ready to talk with an experienced team who will fight to get you the compensation you deserve, call us today at Benglass Law. The consultation is free, it's confidential, and it could help you get the settlement that you deserve. Now lastly, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out the next video here.